so make sure you have your role. Pittsburgh's only breaking news desk gets you new information instantly and constantly updated traffic information. Choose Channel 11 News with Catherine Amenta, Gordon Lack, and Jennifer Tomasic every morning. And we guarantee you'll be prepared for the day ahead. We actually start seeing the ingredients and the makings of the storm 2-3 weeks in advance. Pittsburgh's chief meteorologist, Stephen Crawford, forecasting weather in Pittsburgh for 28 years. He relies on his experience to track severe storms. 2 to 3 days out, we can be very specific about temperatures, about precipitation, about snowfall amounts. Choose the local expert. Pittsburgh's chief meteorologist, Stephen Crawford, on Channel 11 News.
11 Cares is Channel 11's commitment to Pittsburgh.
Together with our partners, we help our neighbors in need and make our town a better place to live.
I'm Mark Holt here is honored to give back to the community with Channel 11. Join us by supporting 11 Cares.
To find out how you can be a part of our next event, go to WPXI.com/11Cares.
11 Cares is sponsored by Highmark Healthcare, 84 Lumber, Clearview Federal Credit Union, and Duquesne Light Company. Channel U, Rise and Thrive.
This is Baby Safety Month, and new data shows young children are still dying from unsafe sleep, environments, or misuse of nursery products. CNN's Mandy Baker takes a look at the report and has more on how to keep babies safe.
It's a silent danger. Accidental suffocation happens when babies aren't kept safe while sleeping.
Oftentimes, people focus on getting their child to sleep and not on the environment children are sleeping in.
In a new report, the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission says there are more than 160 nursery product-related deaths every year. Many deaths happen because of unsafe sleep environments, including having a sleep space cluttered with things like pillows, blankets, and comforters.
We like to say air is best. So putting in without pillows, without blankets, without plush toys.
Between 2018 and 2020, there was also an annual average of 15 deaths associated with infant sleepers. To keep your child safe, use products intended for sleep that meet federal requirements, crib bassinet, or other firm flat surface. If they fall asleep elsewhere, move them to that safe space. Put nothing but a fitted sheet when the child sleeps, place the baby on their back, and check saferproducts.gov for recalls.
Choosing recall products in the stores, a lot of times people are ending up buying things secondhand, and taking the extra step to make sure that the product you're looking at hasn't been recalled is really important.
The report found African American children are disproportionately affected by nursery product-related deaths. CPSC says awareness is critical. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Baker.
A new Panara Brothers is opening at McIntyre Square in Ross Township, and you might win free sandwiches for a year. Doors open to the first 100 tailgaters at 10:30 Wednesday morning. And if you're one of them, you get the sandwiches. Great race underway. The 5K started about 30 minutes ago, and now runners are getting ready for the 10K. Live coverage is next. And how you participate in a couch potato. Your time is 8:26.
Enjoy our chicken fingers this fall at Roundtable Pizza.
Hi, Mine's Realty. The system sounds incredible. Let's check it out. Says here it gets plenty of light. And this must be the ocean view of Aruba. Huh. This listing is misleading.
Well, when AT&T says we give businesses our best deal, we mean it. Even on the iPhone 15 Pro, made with titanium.
Amazing. Says here inviting people. Come on over.
Do inviting.
Only AT&T gives businesses our best deals on any iPhone. Get iPhone 15 Pro or next.
Panera's You Pick Two means when
coming, but you know you have nothing to fear. Pampers swappers with new blowout barrier helps prevent up to 100% leaks, even blowouts. Here is your Pampers swappers. Looking to earn free diapers? Download Pampers Club now.
Dude, you hungry? Because the only foods right there should be your style. Pop is Tips with Alka-Zetzer Plus cold and fluky. Also try for busy fast cough relief.
Durante el mal tiempo o clima extremo, aquí siempre tienes la información en español.
Your business.
Oh, baby. She said I wanted to do like this, like this, like this. Which one is this one now? Will you shut up, Why you always playing like that to the folks? So they won't. She said, just tell me that it's clean now. It is that what?
Only on Channel 11 News.
When you
On this Sunday, September 24th, I'm Gabriella DeLuca. We'll have your top stories in just a moment, including a live report from the Great Race. First, meteorologist Adam Close here with a look at weather now. Good morning, guys.
Yeah, good morning, Gabriella. What a switch when we switched over to fall. Really went from sunshine to the cloud cover and cooler weather in just about 24 hours. And we're still stuck with that. You can see we have this area of showers still moving to the west of Indiana, in the parts of Armstrong and western Westmoreland counties. This is where the steadier showers have been now for about the last half hour to an hour or so. And now we're starting to see a few more of those drifting to Allegheny County. So mainly was just some drizzle earlier. Now we're actually starting to see some more shower activity. Nothing too terribly heavy though, with the exception of this local cell south and west of Indiana. We've also got this steady shower out to the north of Greensburg. So off and on rain for the next few hours, but I do think rain chances gradually go down as we head deeper into the afternoon. So a drier end to the day today, but doesn't mean it's going to be a dry week. In fact, multiple possible opportunities for showers this week. We'll show you that. And when the temperatures finally climb back, show you that coming up in a few minutes. Gabrielle?
Happening now, Great Race Day in the city of Pittsburgh. This was the start of the 5K. We brought it to you live at the top of the hour. Now runners are getting ready for the 10K. Let's get right to Channel 11's Andrew Havanek, live in Oakland. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning, Gabriella. Yeah, just about 30 minutes ago, those runners from the Great Race 5K took off at the starting line right behind me, and they're probably getting close, if not maybe even some of them, reaching the end of this 5K at Point State Park. As you said, the 10K is getting ready to start in just about an hour from now at 9:30 at Frick Park. That'll go continue through Frick Park, and the starting line here on 5th Avenue in Atwood, where the 5K just started, is actually the halfway point of the 10K, and then they will also continue their way down to Point State Park. I spoke with some organizers today who said they had around 10,000 people partaking in these events. That started yesterday with some of the more family events, and then today with the 5K and the 10K. A bulk of those participants were participating in the races today. Again, they are making their way down to Point State Park, and the rain has held off ever since they took off from the starting blocks behind me. It's been pretty dry, so not too bad of a morning for a lot of those runners. If you have to get anywhere this morning and need to avoid this area, there are a lot of detours, so make sure to give yourself some time. Reporting live this morning in Oakland, Andrew Havran at Channel 11 News.
An annual stair climb will be held today in an Allegheny County community to honor firefighters lost during 9/11. The third annual South Park 9/11 stair climb will be held from 8 this morning to 2 in the afternoon at South Park Fairgrounds in South Park Township. The stair climb will have local firefighters and community members climb the same amount of stairs that firefighters did during 9/11. All proceeds will be donated to the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation. A school district is laying out new guidelines on who can and cannot play sports. The new rule says only biological girls can play women's sports, and they're asking anyone they play to follow the same rules. Channel 11's Christine D'Antonio has more from the Laurel School District in Newcastle.
The Laurel School District girls volleyball players took the court Thursday night with the assurance that their opponents are biological females.
You lead, follow, or get out of the way. This is not the first time myself or Laurel have stood up for principles we believe in.
School Superintendent Len Rich says conversations to enact a new policy that bases gender on a student's chromosomes started in the spring after a biological male who competed against females placed ahead of a local student.
That in certain sports, having biological males compete against biological females imposes an unwanted risk to the health, safety, and welfare of the biological females.
Laurel is a WPIAL school which abides by current PIAA policy that gives a school principal the ability to decide if a student's gender is questioned or uncertain.
I mean, I'm proud of them. I'm proud to live here. I think they're standing out for our girls.
Laurel parents like Todd Atkins, who has 3 girls in sports, say it's the right move.
To me, it's as cut and dry as it gets. If you want to live a different life, and I'm all for it. I don't have anything against it, but you shouldn't be competing against girls in sports.
The resolution applies to any female sports games hosted at Laurel's facilities.
We can ask the visiting team as they are there to comply. Should they not comply, then we have the option to forfeit, or we have the option to compete under protest.
The superintendent says that he understands the ramifications of this and the potential for blowback. He says he's ready for it. In Lawrence County, I'm Christine D'Antonio, Channel 11 News.
A Westmoreland County man is on a mission to put a name on dozens of unmarked graves, and he needs your help. The cemetery's caretaker found the graves with the help of ground-penetrating radar. He found 65 unmarked graves at the Brush Creek Associated Reformed Presbyterian Church Cemetery in North Huntington.
They deserve to be marked. Nobody wants to be in an unmarked grave. There's no records at all. I contacted the Presbyterian Historical Society in Philadelphia. They have no records for it.
If you have any information on these graves, or if you want more information, you can contact Bill. His contact info is on our website, WPXI.com. New this morning, a New York Police Department RoboCop will soon help patrol a popular subway in New York City. This robot will provide officers with a 360-degree view of the Times Square subway station during the night. Officers hope this will deter crime on the station. The robot will be on a 2-month test run, and after that, city officials will decide whether to add more robots to other subways. New details now on flying electric aircraft that we first told you about in 2021. This week, Joby Aviation announced it will soon start manufacturing the all-electric vertical takeoff and landing air taxis across the border in Ohio. Reporter John Bedell with our sister station in Dayton spoke to people about how they feel about possibly one day grabbing a ride on these flying taxis.
News Center 7 hit the streets Monday and found news of these air ride shares is spreading.
That's the new taxi Uber is coming and gonna have out here at the airport.
With this new technology on the way, we asked people this: Would you take a ride on something like that?
Sure. I mean, I think it'd be nice to have.
Would you ride that?
Oh, God, that's a good question. Maybe after they've been out and about for at least a year, and I've seen them land safely, I might consider it then.
Okay.
I'm not going to be the first one out, though.
I mean, absolutely. That was pretty cool. And finding the air.
I asked our region's economic development leaders about the market for this technology.
Is there really going to be a demand for it? Like, why now to venture into this space?
Yeah, well, there's two components that we've been working on from the Dayton standpoint.
The Dayton Development Coalition's president and CEO told me there's already military applications for Joby Aviation. They work with the Department of Defense. And Jeff Oakland says there's what Joby hopes to do commercially with its air taxis, whether that's moving passengers or cargo.
You know, there is going to be a demand in flying if it's hearts, kidneys, livers from one hospital to the next. There's payloads where you can drop things off. But we're just really at the tip of the market here.
A company spokesperson told me the cost of an air taxi ride with Joby Aviation will be about the cost of a luxury rideshare fee.
It carries a pilot and 4 passengers at more than 200 miles an hour on trips of up to 100 miles. So we're very excited about it transforming the way we move around within cities and within regions.
Joby Aviation's founder and CEO told me they're going to be closing on property here on Dayton's airport grounds soon, although they didn't say exactly where just yet or when they'll start construction. But he added their goal is to launch their commercial service in 2025 at Dayton International Airport. I'm John Bedell.
How would you like to get paid to watch TV? OnlineCasinos.com is looking to pay someone to binge watch shows on Netflix. The site promises to pay $2,500 to the lucky TV enthusiast who nabs the gig. The job is to identify the most binge-worthy show on the site. Anyone 18 or older can apply, and applications have to be in by Monday, which also happens to be National Binge Day.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
Visibility has actually gotten a little bit better over the city of Pittsburgh, at least since the last time we talked. You can actually see the buildings right now, although it is still overcast out there, and it may still be drizzling just a little bit, but nothing heavy right now in and around Allegheny County. Some of these showers have actually dried up just a little bit as they have worked their way closer to the city of Pittsburgh, so that is great news for the runners, but we still have showers that are on the way, so it is not going to be a dry finish, but at least it's not going to be anything that's too heavy. Right now, still watching this heavier south to the west of Indiana. This is Route 422, so this is going to continue to work its way further off to the west, out closer to Apollo and Vandergrift here soon. We've also got some lighter rain up toward Harrison Township, New Kensington, and a little more moderate rain now pushing into Murraysville. This is going to continue to push off to the west. You see a little more rain now into Penn Hills and Plum. That will work its way closer to the city over the next few minutes. So really over the next few hours, off and on, intermittent kind of light rain. Temperatures are going to hold pretty steady today, only climbing back into the low to mid 60s. So still some showers around at 11 a.m. and then by noontime, we're back into the low 60s. I think much of the afternoon will end up being dry, but I'd say especially as we head toward the late afternoon, evening hours, that's when we can count on drier weather. 65 degrees, that is it for the high today, with a light occasional shower. Still a little breezy out there, but with Ophelia pulling further away this afternoon, it is not going to be quite as gusty as it was yesterday. So winds today mainly at about 10 miles per hour out of the due north. 57 then tonight under mostly cloudy skies. I think tonight is dry. Same goes for most of tomorrow, but what's happening is there's another system that's going to dive out of the Great Lakes, and it's going to come in multiple pieces. The first of those comes tomorrow late in the day into early on Tuesday. So this is going to bring us scattered showers Monday night into mainly Tuesday morning, a break late Tuesday, and then at some point by Wednesday and into early Thursday, a second piece of that same system is going to move on through, and that could bring us additional light showers. None of this is going to be heavy. We're not expecting any thunderstorms or severe weather, and right now it looks like by next weekend, all of this clears its way to our south and east. And if you like warmer temps, once we head past about, let's say, midweek, once we head toward the weekend, next weekend, that's when temperatures are going to start to bounce back. The core of the above average temps are going to stay across the Great Lakes, but I think for us, this shading will represent temperatures back into the low to mid 70s, which will be slightly above average for this time of the year. Still not too bad as we are now approaching early October. 70 degrees tomorrow under mostly cloudy skies. Scattered showers are back late Monday into early Tuesday. So right now, plan on some rain for the Tuesday morning commute. Wednesday, the showers do look to be less numerous, and those will last into Thursday morning before we clear out by next weekend. So overall, a bit of an unsettled week. Temperatures, high temperatures a little below average, on average in the 60s. Overnight lows staying in the mid to upper 50s.
That's Channel 11 News for Sunday morning. Remember, our Steelers pregame coverage starts tonight at 6. Kickoff is at 8:20. Thanks for watching us for coverage you can count on Channel 11 News.
Leave running behind. The new turbocharged Volkswagen Atlas does life beautifully.
Adam Mayhem brings animation's biggest names together in one epic star-studded place.
Interesting.
Animation, your animation destination.
Travis, did you know you can get this season's COVID-19 shot when you get your flu shot?
Oh, two things at once. Two things at once! Two things at once! I'll have two things at once, please. Now back to two things at once. Two things at once.
It's not two things at once.
Travis, ask about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
¿Evito la fuga? No hay problema. Con los 5 modos de manejo del Road, los pasos de mando son fáciles de seguir.
Maneja el Nissan Rogue. Ahora llévate 0% por 36 meses en el Rogue Platinum o Ident Rogue desde $369 al mes.
The drug landscape has changed. Illegal fentanyl has made its way into the drug supply. A synthetic opioid up to 50 times stronger than heroin, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. It only takes the tiniest amount to cause a fatal overdose. Although fentanyl is being mixed into almost every kind of drug, you wouldn't be able to see it, smell it, or taste it. Know the dangers. Learn the facts about fentanyl and ways to protect yourself.
Comedy.tv, where the laughs never stop. Anything can happen with comedy's heaviest hitters. Get ready to laugh, America, with Mr. Rock's Office, the first family and funny you should ask America's comedy game show. Catch all the laughs on Comedy.tv. Check your local listings. In like company, Channel 11 News 11 and 11 is specially designed to get you news updates fast. 5 digits at 7 and 11:11 p.m.
This is WPXI's Home Experts, Pittsburgh's go-to home professional resource.
The carpet and air ducts in your home can hold a lot of dirt. Zero Res says professionally removing the dirt can keep your home cleaner and healthier longer. We are joined by General Manager Rachel Kalka to talk about carpet and air duct cleaning. Hi, Rachel. Hi, how are you? Great. How are you? Good. Now, why should someone have their home cleaned by Zero Res instead of either trying to do it yourself or using one of those at-home machines?
So we find that a lot of people flood their carpet with those. 100% of the moisture that they're putting down, they're only getting 10% back into that machine because it just doesn't have the extraction ratio it's supposed to. So for us, 100% of the water we put down, we're actually taking 90% back with us, which it makes your dry time a lot less, and also it prevents it from wicking back, which means that it will resurface in time.
What does a Zero Res cleaning appointment entail?
So from start to finish, you should have impeccable customer service, whether you book online or book through the call center. From there, you pick the date and time that works best for you and your schedule. We show up, we call you about 15 to 30 minutes prior to arrival. We do an initial walkthrough. We assess any areas of your concern that you might have. You take us right to your problem areas, and we do our best to address those and the rest of your carpet for a whole home cleaning. After that, we wrap up, and we look forward to seeing you back in 6 to 18 months.
Before we sat down, your technician Lance actually cleaned some carpet here. Can you tell us more about what we're seeing?
So you're seeing the people, the process, and the promise. That's three things we stand by the most. The people know exactly what to put on us for pre-treatment. The process is just making sure that it attaches to whatever is soiled your carpet. And the promise is the fact that we will come back and make it right if you feel like we didn't do a good enough job.
What's a good time to have Zero Res come clean your home?
Anytime, but really moving in and out of a house, if you haven't had it done in 12 or more months, new introductions to babies, animals, pets, things like that, or, unfortunately, if you lose a pet, anything that would prompt you, spills, stains, things that you shouldn't be doing by yourself, give us a call.
What is air duct cleaning and why should you have it done?
So air duct cleaning is like the skeleton of your home. You have to take care of it and maintain it for it to treat you well. Your indoor air quality could be anywhere from 10 to 100 times worse than outside, just because it keeps filtering through your home and you don't know what is in your air ducts, especially if you just recently moved into a house. So it's all about getting that contamination out of your house. So before you see a doctor, I ask that you get your air ducts cleaned and see if that helps improve your asthma or allergies or anything like that, because a lot of that stuff is trapped right in here, especially pollen and dander and things that people are allergic to. It is right in this bucket.
Wow, interesting. Thank you so much, Rachel.
Thank you.
Call today to take advantage of this great offer from Zero Res. Fix your roof or finish your basement. A home equity loan or home equity line of credit from Clearview Federal Credit Union can be used for your next remodeling project. Joining us with more information is Fran Mifsud, Director of Real Estate Lending. Hi, Fran.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Well, thank you.
Good, let's start at the beginning. What is equity?
Equity is simply the difference between the appraised value of your home and any outstanding mortgage loans that you may have. The example would be if your home is valued at $300,000 and you have an outstanding loan balance of $200,000, the difference there being $100,000, that is considered equity that you would have.
How can homeowners use home equity to borrow money?
The way that you could borrow money from your home is simply through a home equity loan. So there are two types of home equity loan, one being a fixed rate and the other being a HELOC, which is an acronym for Home Equity Line of Credit. They have different parameters. One is the fix itself is considered just that. It's a fixed rate, fixed term, and your payment is fixed throughout the duration of the repayment. Home equity loan line of credit works similar to a credit card. You're provided a certain balance out there to utilize at your discretion, and you make payments only on the portion in which you draw on.
What situations should you consider using home equity?
Well, there's a myriad of situations that you may want to consider. I would simply tell you a lot of times they're used for renovations. Renovations being the bigger one. That also allows you to increase your value of your property, which may in turn in itself add more equity to your home in the future. Others would be maybe a consolidation loan. You can consolidate any high-paying interest cards that you have out there. And another one would be a down payment, to utilize that equity for a down payment on whether it would be a investment property or a second home possibly.
What are the advantages of using a home equity loan or line of credit over other lending options?
Well, this lending option of utilizing the home equity is best in two ways. Primarily interest rate and the length of repayment period they allow you to have being longer. The equity loans can go anywhere from 5 to 25 years, where if you were to do a personal loan, which doesn't have any security against a home, will be a shorter term period, which may not be as friendly to your budget.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Visit Clearview's website for more information or to apply today. Did you know it's a good idea to have your chimney inspected? So how often should you do that? Joining me to share chimney safety tips